Larry D here. There's a video I've wanted to do for a little while, and do me a favor, please excuse the background noises. They're punching a gas well about a half a mile from here on some other property, and got a lot of traffic on the road bringing equipment in and out. But either way, there's a video I've wanted to do for a while, and it involves being safe in the outdoors. I always say that at the end of my videos, be safe out there. And there's a piece of gear on the market that I've been using for quite a while. There's places that I routinely go that there is no cellular service. If you were to be injured, you're stuck. Now, I know years ago, before any of this technology was available, you took your chances, and I did many, many, many times. But there's no need to. The items I want to talk about are the Spot communicator units. This is the Gen X. This is the Spot Gen 3. And here is the Gen 4. I'll explain the differences on them in a minute. But what really got me going on this are three situations that took place in the last year. Two of them here in Michigan and one down in New Mexico. Last October, September, October, there were two gentlemen went for a day hike in the UP. These gentlemen were in their mid-60s. They had some medical issues, diabetes, cardiac problems. And of course, they're just going for a day hike. What could go wrong? Well, they got turned around and got lost. When they didn't come back on time, the wives of the gents called state police, and state police got with DNR, and they started looking for these guys. Now, they had cell service in part of the area. So what does the state police do? They look what the last ping on their cell phone was and get coordinates. It was wrong. It was way off. They were fine. They hunkered down. They did the smart thing. They hunkered down and said they're going to wait out the night. It was getting chilly. A thunderstorm was coming through. They were going to be hit with rain, bad winds. They did a lot of damage in the Upper Peninsula. And they were finally found by a DNR officer, and they got them back. These guys would have been in bad shape had they had to spend the entire night out there. Well, shortly after that, there was a very sad incident, also in the Upper Peninsula, definitely in an area where there was no cellular service. A young man in his mid-20s, I believe he was 28, married, has a couple kids. He was in an area that's known for the canoeing, but also for backpacking. And he was out backpacking. He did not make his check-in time. So family contacted authorities. They went out and started searching for him. It took them a few days to find him. And when they did, sadly, he was dead. He had cut himself severely on the leg. Tried to use a belt as a tourniquet, but it didn't work, and he bled out. Then the final one is, just a couple months ago, down in New Mexico, there was a father and his kids hiking on a trail doing a day hike, and one of the kids got ahead of him, and he had been a Marine. So he hollers, as the kids put it in his Marine voice, "Hey, come on back here." And they heard somebody calling for help. After about 45 minutes of searching and calling back and forth, they found a man. He had injured his back and was unable to walk. He was able to get down near a stream where he'd have water. He would crawl down to the stream at night, get some water, crawl back. He was there for 2 weeks. He exhausted his food supply. At least he had water, so he didn't die from dehydration. 2 weeks. He probably would not have made it much longer. The gentleman said that he was in really rough shape. They gave him food. They made sure he had something a little more comfortable. They went back to the trailhead, called for help because they could get a cell signal from the trailhead. They waited for rescue to show up. They gave rescue the coordinates of where the man was located, and rescue took off to go get him. Well, the man and his kids go home. The man finds out later, search and rescue never found him. He couldn't sleep. He drags out. First light, heads down, finds the man again to make sure he was still okay. Tells them, I'll be back. I'm going to wait for the rescue guys. He calls search and rescue. They send people out eventually, and he led them down, and they were able to get the man out. But I mean, they had to carry him out. And he recovered, as far as I know. Everything seemed okay. The point I'm getting at, of course, is with any one of these devices, all that would have taken is a literal push of a button, and a search and rescue team would have known exactly where he was. Any one of them. The two gentlemen in the UP, sure, they were out for a day hike. It doesn't take much to throw one of these in a pack. The new Gen 4s come out. They no longer offer the Gen 3. They do support it, though, of course. On all of these devices, you have your SOS button here. It's under a cover. You have what they call helping hands under this cover here. The SOS obviously goes to search and rescue. The helping hands you can program to say that you just need some help, but it's not a dire emergency. You pre-program it. You set up the text you want to send out. On mine, I have it set as I have an issue, I could use assistance, send it when possible. If things get worse, I will hit SOS. So they know that the people that would receive this, and you define who's going to get the helping hands, any of the check-in messages, any of the predetermined messages, predefined. And SOS, of course, goes to search and rescue, but it also notifies individuals that you determine you want to have information if you hit SOS. So, again, SOS, helping hands, predefined messages. You can make whatever you want. You can say, hey, I'm on schedule, I'm doing fine, whatever. The whole point is, you can program who gets this and what it says. Same thing with the check-in with the predefined messages. And the check-in sends one that's, you can send a predefined message saying, all okay, we'll check in again later. Well, worth it. Service on these things is like $11.95 a month. Now, the Gen 4 has come out. Same thing again. It's a little bit different. It's a little sleeker. The waterproofing rating on it is much higher. It can actually stand submersion. You have a panel on the back on both of these where your 4 AAA batteries go in. They recommend that you use the AAA lithium, which lasts forever. Your USB connection on this one is inside. Again, to increase the water resistance, waterproof properties of the device. Again, you got SOS, helping hands, predefined message, check-in. You can also set tracking, which is that one right there. I hit the wrong button here. That's tracking. You can set up tracking intervals to record to your online account what your locations are, like every 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, an hour. Nice. Really nice device. Like it a lot. Now, Spot sent me this. I have not activated it, to be honest with you. Okay? Because I have my other 2 units activated. So I want to be honest. They sent me this to review. And I gotta say, at first it was like, oh, so Gen 4, big deal. It feels much more substantial. I mean, this is a good unit. Do not get me wrong. But this is a really nice, sleek unit. Waterproof. The little covers for the SOS and that, much better and I believe they are magnetic, so they lock shut. Nice unit, $150. Now, the Spot X. This is the one that I carry now if I'm going to be out for a while. It's a little heavier. It's got a built-in lithium battery. Charges just like your cell phone on a port on the bottom. You have multiple functions in here. You have a compass. You have tracking. But this is the big deal. With this, it's true two-way text communication. It has its own phone number. So you can send out a text message through the satellite network to whoever you need to talk to or want to talk to. You set up your contact list just like on a cell phone. This is the older unit that does not have Bluetooth. The new Spot X's have Bluetooth, which allows you to then connect to your cell phone through their app. That allows you to access all your contacts on your phone, much easier texting, and allows you to literally text back and forth with search and rescue, which you can do here too. But with the app on the phone, much easier. I'm not going to buy a new one just for that option, okay? It'd be nice, but I can live with this. The Spot X has a full QWERTY keyboard. Your controls here is like a joystick type thing. Up, down, left, right, enter for the center. You have multiple functions here, from sending messages to navigation, a bunch of things. Very nice. With this, like I say, you can send full two-way communication. Of course, you have the SOS function, which is under a locked cover, so you don't inadvertently hit it. Your tracking control, like I say, QWERTY keyboard. It's a little bit weird to get used to it because we're all used to touch screens, but it works well. I kind of have pudgy fingers, so I kind of got to use my nail, but it works well. In any one of those cases, like I said, that I detailed, if they'd have had a spot unit, they could have gotten help. That man laying near the river who couldn't walk, he could have been out there same day. That poor guy who'd passed away. At least they would have known where to find him. And those two gentlemen in the UP, they would have been able to get out of there a lot quicker. Now, I want to tell a story real quick about a goof I made. When I first got this unit, I was trying it out. Now, I was somewhere that there was cell service. That was fine. It was dark. The first software evolution on here, it had a setting on the screen that you could hit enter to send an SOS. Right above it, it was check-in. So it's dark. My fat fingers scroll it down to SOS and hit it and send it. I walk off, and now the screen does light up, okay? There is an illumination option here. I grab my flashlight and look, and I go, oh crap, I just sent an SOS message. It gave me the option to cancel. I cancel the message, feeling pretty stupid. Within a couple minutes, my phone starts ringing. I don't get to it before it goes to voicemail. So I pick the phone up, I start listening to the voicemail. As I'm listening, the phone rings again. It was the Spot Response Center, the Search and Rescue Center. They got my SOS. They got the cancel. They wanted to make sure I really wanted to cancel it. The young lady on the phone was, are you sure you want to cancel this, sir? Are you okay? I say, absolutely, I'm fine. I'm sorry I made a stupid mistake. I hit the button by accident. Oh, not a problem. She hesitates and then says, are you in a position to speak freely? Do you really want to cancel? I said, yes. Yes. She's okay. I just want to make sure you were really okay. Thank you. Take care. And I hang up. We're talking like 5 minutes max. These people, the response was incredible. I was blown away. I mean, I felt stupid for sending the signal by mistake. Now, with the new online software they have and the app, you can test this. You can put your account into a test mode and send an SOS, which is great, because then you know for sure, yeah, it's working. But had that been a real emergency and I was not able to get to my phone, if I was not able to pull a text in, I'm sure they would send a text also, they would have sent help. I don't know how many thousand rescues have been performed by people hitting the SOS button on spot. I'll throw that on the bottom of the screen here. In my mind, there is absolutely no excuse not to have one of these. You could probably find one of these used. Again, they still support them. Spend $150, get the better unit. I don't mean to be a pain about this. That poor guy down near the river, I keep thinking about him. Man, 2 weeks. I guess he looked like death. And if he'd have had a simple device, and you know that the money spent on equipment somewhere along the line was there's a $150 piece of equipment floating around. Buy one. Get one of these. If you can't afford this, okay. Get this Gen 4. It is worth it. I know I'm ranting and raving here, and I apologize. But I just think it's so important. I think of that poor kid dying up in the Upper Peninsula. 28 years old as my son. He has a couple kids. So do yourself a favor. Do someone else a favor. Get one of these devices. Now, I know there's going to be some people, oh, you don't need that. Well, you don't need it until you need it, right? Think about it, please. This could save your life. And your life is well worth more than $150. With everything going on in this stupid world in 2020, you got to take care of yourself. Think of yourself a little more. Get a spot, okay? There's other ones on the market. Go ahead and look at them. The service I've gotten from these people is incredible, as I said. I wouldn't go with anybody else. But if you find a better deal and you're more comfortable with somebody else, do it. But just do something, okay? Thanks for listening to all of this. I obviously feel really strong about this. My career's been journalism. I've seen so many people hurt, so many people die, so many terrible things that have gone on. I don't want to hear any more of that. I'm tired of it. And I just want to try to help people. And this will help you. So please, think about it, okay? I'll put a link to Spot. Just look at these, please. Do yourself a favor. Do your family a favor. Do the people who love you a favor. Thanks for watching this. And as I always say, do me a favor. If you'd like, subscribe. Leave comments. I love the comments. Even the crazy ones. But subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you could. That's kind of cool. Share it. But regardless of anything, get outdoors and have some fun. And be safe. Thanks.